As you can see, I'm wrapped up to the nines. It's very cold here this morning. When we arrive at like 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, when we have the race, it's going to be like 2 degrees. And then it ramps up very quickly when the sun comes up over the Atlas Mountains. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful setting here in Marrakesh. We're just at the entry to turn 1 here. Very, very wide entry. It's a much wider track than normal FE tracks, but it's one of the most important areas for overtaking. It can lead to some exciting challenges. Last year we had our driver Alex Lynn, who was punted off by another driver, but you will see lots of overtaking into this corner. Here we are at turn 3, where the attack zone is for this race. When you compare to Riyadh, the drivers had to go offline quite considerably and they lost quite a lot of time. So here is the first loop, but they only have to run offline a little bit in order to pick that up. It probably won't cost that much, and there will be a much better benefit here than there was in Riyadh. As I say, the attack zone, the extra boost that you'll get, will last for probably 3 or 4 laps around here. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that works in this first year. Here we are at turns 4 and 5. It's like a wide open chicane. Normal curbing on the entry, curbing on the mid-corner with some big sausage curbs. So the car can ride a fair amount of this. It's not really aggressive, but obviously they can't cut the corner as much as they would like, purely because of the curbs. But the drivers use all of the track here. The cars that are better on the curbs can obviously find a bit of time in this area. So they come out of the chicane at turn 4 and 5, down the straight, and then into turn 7 and 8. Great overtaking opportunities here at the end of this straight. The guys will come down the inside, and there's lots of outbraking. It tightens up on the exit, and you do see some action here. You see some cars that end up in the barrier on the outside. So it's tight, go through 7, and then through 8 is also quite tight. So this is one of the most exciting parts of this track. We come into turn 10. This is the tightest corner on the track, so the slowest corner, but there have been some shunts here in the past. I'm sure you'll be able to reference those, but the main difference here for this year is they've removed a big curb on the inside, so the drivers will be able to use these curbs that you can see, but they won't be launched by the big sausage curb which is on the inside. This is the slowest corner, as I say, leads onto the back straight before a final left and then right before we get onto the start-finish line again. Here we are at the last corner, turn 12. You've got to get a good run off the corner for the straight that then leads down to turn 1 again. What you will notice is the exit curbs. You've got some horizontal sausage curbs on the inside, so you really got to steer clear of those. You've got to keep the car tight on the exit. So it's a very demanding corner, but still, you know, it's always a compromise. You want a good exit to carry the speed onto the straight, but also you don't want the guy who's behind you to be able to get close enough either. So it's quite challenging.